Have you ever felt like you're losing your child, but you can't quite put your finger on why? One day they're loving and close, and the next, they're cold, distant, or even hostile. If this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with something called parental alienation. It's rarely one big, obvious event. Instead, it's a slow, creeping pattern of vibe. A gradual rewiring of your child's heart and mind. Today, we're going to talk about the signs of alienation, what they really mean, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Let's start with the first and most confusing sign, a sudden, unexplained rejection. A child who used to run into your arms now pulls away. Their warmth is replaced with a chilling distance, and there's no clear reason why. Children don't just flip an emotional switch. This often means the other parent has been planting seeds of fear, twisting reality, or rewriting your shared history to paint you as the villain. Next, pay attention to their language. Does your child say things a kid their age would never naturally come up with? Phrases like, "You're toxic," or "You're just trying to manipulate me," or "You were never really there for me." This is what we call borrowed language. They're not expressing their own feelings. They're reciting emotional scripts that have been fed to them. It's an adult's anger in a child's voice. Another huge red flag is one-sided narratives. Suddenly, everything you do is wrong and everything the other parent does is perfect. There's no middle ground, no nuance. You're all bad, they're all good. This black and white thinking is a classic symptom. The child is under immense pressure to prove their loyalty to the alienating parent. So they have to erase any positive feelings or memories they have of you. You might also notice them overreacting to tiny, insignificant things. Maybe you were 5 minutes late for pickup, or you bought the wrong brand of cereal. In a normal context, these are minor issues. But in an alienated child's mind, they become proof that you're unreliable, uncaring, or even unsafe. They're being trained to scan for your faults and magnify them. Have you ever noticed your child becoming anxious or defensive after spending good, positive time with you? They might seem happy during your visit, but then they get quiet, guilty, or even angry as it ends. This is a heartbreaking sign. It often means they face some form of punishment, maybe subtle, maybe emotional, for enjoying their time with you. They're being punished for loving you, and that creates an impossible conflict in their heart. Another sign is when your child develops opinions that are far too mature or cruel for their age. They might speak to you with a sense of moral superiority, judgment, or blatant disrespect. This isn't genuine maturity. It is a false sense of empowerment built on the anger and resentment they've absorbed from the alienating parent. Then there's the physical and emotional distance. The hugs stop. They avoid making eye contact. They just seem uncomfortable in your presence. Affection is a natural part of a parent-child bond. When it disappears, it's because they're being conditioned to associate you with negative feelings like danger, betrayal, or disappointment. And what about their loyalty? An alienated child will often defend the alienating parent, no matter how unreasonable that parent's behavior is. They'll make excuses for them, protect them fiercely, and refuse to see any flaws. This is more than just a child loving their parent. It's a sign that the alienating parent has become their emotional gatekeeper, and the child's sense of safety depends on keeping that parent happy. This often leads to a direct refusal of contact or resistance to visits. You'll hear things like, "I don't want to go," or "You can't make me," or even "I'm scared of you." While a child's feelings should always be taken seriously in alienation cases, these phrases are often coached. They are taught to refuse visits as a strategy to justify court actions, or further restrict your time together. Finally, there's a sudden wall of secrecy. They stop sharing things about their life, what happened at school, who their friends are, how they're feeling. The open channel of communication you once had is now closed. This is usually driven by fear. They're afraid that if they share anything positive about their time with you, they'll face backlash from the other parent. So, you're seeing these signs. Your heart is breaking. What do you do? How do you respond without making things worse? First, and this is the most important rule, stay stable, calm, and loving. Your consistency is the antidote. Alienation thrives on drama and chaos. It feeds on reaction. Your unwavering emotional safety is the one thing it can't tolerate. Be the calm in their storm. Second, never, ever counter-manipulate. It is so tempting to call the other parent crazy or a liar, or to point out their abusive behavior to your child. But this will almost always backfire. It validates the narrative that you are the problem, and it puts your child in an even more impossible position. Don't play the game. Rise above it. Third, document everything. Keep a private journal. Note every behavioral shift, every strange phrase they use, every pattern of refusal. Write down dates, times, and specific details. This isn't for arguments, it's for clarity and, if needed, for legal or therapeutic support later on. Fourth, keep communication open but gentle. Use reassuring phrases like, "I always want to hear how you're feeling, no matter what." Or "You are always safe to tell me the truth, and I love you, and that will never change." Your child needs to know, deep down, that your love doesn't come with conditions. Fifth, rebuild trust through shared experiences, not lectures. Alienation is built on a false story. The best way to dismantle a false story is to show them a different reality. Do fun things. Be predictable. Be present. Be soft. When their real-life experience with you directly contradicts the negative narrative they've been fed, the lies begin to crumble. Sixth, use questions instead of statements. Instead of saying, "You're being manipulated," which will only make them defensive, ask gentle, open-ended questions. "That's an interesting thought. What makes you feel that way?" Or "Who told you that?" Or "Does that feel like your own thought or someone else's?" This encourages them to think critically without feeling attacked. And finally, get a therapist involved, but make sure it's one who is specifically trained in parental alienation. Many well-meaning therapists don't understand the unique dynamics and can sometimes make things worse. A professional who recognizes the patterns can be an invaluable ally in helping your child navigate this. But what if it's too late? What if you're only realizing what happened after your child has already turned against you? This happens to so many parents. Alienation is incredibly sneaky. The good news is you can still repair things, but you have to be careful. You cannot directly say things like, "You were brainwashed" or "You were used." This will slam the emotional door shut. Your child will immediately jump to defend the other parent because admitting they were manipulated feels humiliating and disloyal. It threatens their entire sense of reality. So what can you do instead? The key is slow, gentle truth without any accusation. You can say things like, "I know things were really confusing for you back then," or "You were caught in the middle of a lot of adult problems and that wasn't fair to you." Reassure them you didn't do anything wrong. You never had to choose a side. And most importantly, "I have always loved you, even when we were distant." This language gives them permission to see the past differently at their own pace. Focus on rebuilding the relationship, not on winning the argument. Kids heal through new experiences, not old explanations. The alienator offers loyalty based on fear. You must offer loyalty based on unconditional love. In the long run, love always wins. Allow them the space to rewrite their own story. As they mature, become parents themselves, and learn more about the world, they will start to see the truth. They'll compare their experiences with both parents. They'll recognize manipulative behaviors in other parts of their lives and connect the dots. It happens far more often than you'd think. The truth finds its own way to the surface. You can help this process, but only indirectly. Guide, don't push. Ask curious questions. Model emotional stability. And if they accuse you of something that never happened, you can respond calmly and safely. Say something like, "I can see why hearing that would be so upsetting. I would love to tell you the full story when you feel ready. I'm here for that conversation whenever you want it." This plants a seed of curiosity without forcing a confrontation. I want to leave you with this final truth. Alienation is powerful, but the bond between a child and a genuinely loving parent is stronger. It might bend. It might get buried under years of pain and confusion. It might go quiet for a long time. But it doesn't disappear. One day, the truth finds daylight quietly but unmistakably. Hold on to that. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful, please consider liking and subscribing for more content on navigating difficult family dynamics. Your strength and love are more powerful than you know.